Hello and welcome to the Greek Pyramid, a brand new YouTube channel. I thought it would be interesting for the first video on this channel to look at a number of different theories that exist within the Percy Jackson universe and give my thoughts on whether I think they have any legs or not and whether they fit in with the lore that we are shown throughout the Percy Jackson books. I must just quickly add that this does come with a spoiler warning up to Trials of Apollo, so now that you've been warned, let's jump straight in. The first theory I have today is the Blue Yarn Theory, which I first saw in Quora from Sassafras Wit, so credit to them if they came up with it. This theory goes all the way back to Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief when Percy's on the bus with Grover. They see the Fates with an electric blue yarn that they cut, the yarn symbolising someone's life, and when the yarn is cut it symbolises the ending of that life. Due to its blue colour, it's first thought to be Percy's, but we haven't seen that so far. If we then fast forward to the Heroes of Olympus prophecy, it is stated that to storm or fire the world must fall, an oath to keep with a final breath. With the storm part referring to Jason whilst the fire part referring to Leo, this leads everyone to believe that one of these two are going to die. Leo is later shown to die but is brought back to life courtesy of Festus in the Blood of Olympus book. This is then confirmed in the Trials of Apollo series. However, in that same series, Jason dies, so maybe the prophecy is not fulfilled as Leo is brought back to life. As it's an electric blue yarn, maybe this is instead referring to Jason as the blue could instead be related to storms, with focus on the electric part as his father is Zeus and Jason is shown to channel lightning on numerous occasions. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this theory, as I think this thread, if you'll pardon the pun, is kinda wrapped up in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, as it is guessed by Percy that it was in fact Luke's life that is cut by the Fates. But I suppose at the end of the day this is purely a guess by Percy rather than an absolute. But in my opinion it's just not for me whilst I admire the ingenuity behind it. The second theory that I thought would be worth looking at today is the Achilles Heel Theory, which I first found on Reddit from Equivalent Inflation. In Percy Jackson The Last Olympian, Percy bathes in the river Styx in order to take on the curse of Achilles. This gives him great power as we see him having invulnerable skin, but also gaining extreme physical prowess such as heightened strength and reflexes, and a body that almost fights automatically. Although, the downside to this is a weak spot. As Achilles had his heel, which was shot by an arrow, Percy decides upon the small of his back, as it is hard to hit and he will have some type of armour covering it. But is there a greater reason as to why he chose this spot? To look at this, we'll have to go back a bit. Throughout the books, Percy's fatal flaw is shown to be excessive personal loyalty, wherein which he would sacrifice the world in order to save one of his friends. But due to this loyalty, he always expects his friends to have his back as well. And in battle, the only people who will be covering his back are his friends. Therefore, in order to kill Percy, one of his friends would either have to fail him or betray him, but knowing this loyalty he has towards his friends, in his eyes, this is an impossible outcome. I really like this theory. It fits what we are told a lot throughout the books and helps to further prove what Percy's fatal flaw is, whilst helping to set up for the final choice he makes in The Last Olympian. Whilst I doubt this is what Rick was going for when he wrote the books, I really like the sentiment of it and I just think it's a really neat theory. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more videos in the future, feel free to leave any suggestions for any other theories you want me to cover or think are interesting, and also let me know what your thoughts are on these theories, whether you think they're good or not, whether they fit within the Percy Jackson lore, or whether you just hate them really. And on that note, I'll see you next week for another video. Goodbye.